Hey guys, Natalia Kirshina here, an English-speaking tour guide, interpreter, translator, a teacher and a narrator based in Kyiv, Ukraine. And today I've come to SaintAndrew'sDescent, which is considered Kyiv's iconic street. It's only 700 meters long, but it's lined with Kyiv's oldest buildings. And today I'm going to share with you the story of one of such buildings, which in fact is the oldest building standing, one of the oldest buildings you can find in Kyiv. Well, it's Kyiv's antiquity. And let's have a look at the building. Today I've come to Kyiv's iconic street. I think quite a lot of people know what it's called. Right now I am passing by this building. And in fact, it's a very old building. Today it houses a restaurant, a Ukrainian restaurant, with which serves Ukrainian dishes. But there was a time when it was just a warehouse probably, or a tavern. And you know what? It was built in the first half of the 19th century. I rather think in the second decade, or maybe in the third decade of the 19th century. And I'd like to show you the surroundings. It's Sunday afternoon, I think even evening. Yes, it's 8 o'clock in the evening, and it's quite well, there are not crowds, but still a lot of people strolling down this street. And you can see this street is lined mostly with old buildings, very much like the one I've been telling you about. These buildings are younger. Well, they were built in the second half of the 19th century, maybe in the last decade of the 19th century. But this building that well, just arose my interest. This building is quite old, and well, let me show you some more views of this street. Unfortunately, it's evening time and the restaurant is closed, but I'd like to show you the menu. And the menu, as I said, is purely Ukrainian, and just a couple of dishes maybe. So you can see the building has 3 windows, which was quite typical of old Kyiv buildings. Such buildings were used as mostly, when they were built in the 19th century, they were used mostly as warehouses due to the proximity of Kyiv river port, and some of them were used as probably taverns, cafes, and even as living quarters. So there are 3 windows, and you can see these windows are closed and they have shutters on them. You know what? But if you, for example, if I come here tomorrow morning or at midday, the windows will be opened and the shutters will be open, and the restaurant has a very peculiar name. Let me show you the plaque with the name of the restaurant. So this plaque reads under the Linden tree. Yes, under the Linden tree. And later on I'll explain to you why it's called under the Linden tree. But as promised, I'd like to show you the menu. The menu is not that diverse, you know, but still they offer dinners. You can see this in big block letters. It's the Ukrainian for dinner. Then they also serve business lunches and all kinds of pancakes and dumplings and Ukrainian soup. Just a variety of Ukrainian soups. Now, the business lunch, by the way, is reasonably priced. It's only 200 hryvnias. So let's have a look at the menu itself. So the menu, as far as I can see, it's mostly, the restaurant caters mostly to the needs and tastes of meat eaters, because most of these dishes are meat dishes with potatoes and noodles, and of course, apart from pork, apart from beef, veal, and probably mutton, they also serve Ukrainian pork, and I rather think it's served with garlic, because this is the Ukrainian custom. Usually we, when we eat pork, we usually also, in addition, we eat garlic with it. Okay, so, but there's one dish that I rather like very much, and it's called deruni. Deruni translates into English as potato pancakes. And these potato pancakes, it's mostly potatoes, flour, and eggs, and black pepper, and the potatoes are grated on a grater, and as well as onions, and this it's all mixed and then put on a frying pan, and you should watch because you should watch how it all goes, because if you underdo it, you won't have that crust, that characteristic crust that makes these deruni, these potato pancakes, so tasty, so delicious. Okay, so as promised, I'd like to show you the to explain to you why this restaurant is called Under the Linden Tree, a restaurant under the linden tree. I think you've probably noticed that it stands quite close to a tree. It's a very tall tree, and I assure you it's very old. It's very old, even because you can see it even in photos which date back to the second half of the 19th century. I mean, the first photos of Kiev, the first views of Kiev, which were taken mostly by foreigners, foreign visitors to Kiev in the 19th century. So this tree is there, yes, and it's still standing next to the building, to this building. And in fact, it's not only that this building alone is so old, is so iconic, but this linden tree is equally sacred to Kiev, because it was planted actually in the 19th century. Well, it seems that the tree lifespan is a little bit longer than the human lifespan, but okay, so, and I think that, in fact, I don't know what was the big idea behind planting this linden tree so close to the building, to this building. So in fact, it's the tree is standing on the foundations of the building. Okay, so the other day I had a conversation with two American men who came, I don't know why they came to Kiev, probably on business or maybe on vacation, and they told me that they had been to Kiev before, they visited Kiev several times, and I asked them, why do you keep coming to Kiev? What is so special about Kiev? Why it draws you like a magnet? And they told me, we all know very well that Kiev is not very high on the list of the cities which are most comfortable to live in, and even though there are quite good specimens of fancy architecture, we can still enjoy Kiev's architecture, but there are other European cities which can boast very exquisite architecture, but you know what? And they told me that the locals may not realize it, but Kiev has this special touch, special aroma or aura, which makes it stand out from other European cities. And I kind of agree with them, because some of the architecture is quite old. Some of it is, it's quite exquisite, but it's not Kiev's architecture that makes it so special. The thing is that Kiev is a city which stands on the third largest river of Europe, the Dnipro River. And in fact, it is split by the Dnipro River into two parts, the left bank Kiev and the right bank Kiev. The part where Kiev began to exist is the right bank Kiev, and right now we are here on the right bank. And you know what? The right bank is it's a series of hills. And I always tell my tourists that Kiev is all about hills and steps. And even this street I'm standing on, where this building stands, this street is very steep, I assure you. It runs all the way from top to bottom, and the difference is about more than 80 meters. So this hill overhangs a riverside neighborhood, overhangs the Dnipro River, some more than 80 meters. So it's quite tall. Okay, so I hope I've managed to give you a flavor of what the right bank Kiev looks like. And in fact, the very old part of Kiev, and one of Kiev's iconic streets where this restaurant stands. Okay, and that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and if you have enjoyed watching it, please donate any amount of money you think appropriate to help me continue making such videos.